This is only one, so.
So I'm Ann Jackson, and I'm talking to you about a project I'm involved with through AIGA called Beyond Borders. We're a team. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about who else is on the team, who we talked to, what we're trying to do, and show you some video interviews that we've done from people who know a lot more about Iranian design than I do. So this is sort of our, I guess I already talked about that. But our specific focus, I mean, some of you may or may not know that Iranian design has this huge, rich, and deep historic tradition. Our focus is specifically on the contemporary Iranian posters. So what we're trying to do is create an exhibition of these contemporary Iranian posters at the AIGA the headquarters, the design space in New York. And the big challenge that we have isn't that this isn't a cool idea, it's just that AIGA is like, great, you raise the money and we'll put the show on for you. So we also hope, so the idea is that once we get the show in New York, then our long-term goal is to also get it to travel to New York City. So it's just within the past 5 years, but some of the people on the team, as you'll see, have direct relationships with a lot of the designers in Iran. And so there's quite a lot that's been happening within the last 5 years. So here's some of the people on the team. We have Amos Klausner, who's at PricewaterhouseCoopers, Nahid Tutucci, who's down in Maryland, Puya Jahashani, who's a designer in LA, me. I'm the only non-graphic designer on the team, and you're gonna wonder what I'm doing on the team. Our curatorial team also includes Steve Heller, Mirko Illich, Majid Abbasi, and Rick Raffay. The last name on the previous side was also Andrew Twig. I don't know. So we love having Andrew on the team. So these are some of the guys that you're actually going to see videos about. So what is so interesting about Iranian design? Does anybody have Persian rugs? Anybody have seen Iranian posters? I mean, they're just so beautiful, and the big thing is like they're not any kind of design that we're familiar with in the United States. So here's an example. This is from Iman Murad, right? So they use this expressive, they're very expressive, very evocative. I mean, posters, good poster design is evocative. It draws you in, it creates an emotion in a very little amount of space. But one of the things that Iranian design also does that the American designers only do some of is this incredible expression with the typography. And that's one of the rich traditions in history that the Iranian designers bring with them. And so you can just see this huge, the vibrancy, and it's a different approach, it's a different visual, it's a different way of thinking. And as designers, whether we're architects or graphic designers or web designers, I'm a web designer, it is so awesome to be inspired.
Also to see that we're kind of all one, that we can learn from the Iranian work just as the Iranian designers have learned from the West or learned from the East. And that's the virtue of having these cross-cultural exhibitions.
Not having figurative art, because of not having too many photography on poster. Iranian posters, they look more like Swiss posters. They have no language, except the Helvetica looks slightly different.
Their Helvetica looks different. I didn't even hear that when I was shooting the video.
Effective in a world changing rapidly. So I think the impact of technology in media is going to increase the focus on how visual narrative and imagery can be used and provocative enough to encourage thoughtful conversation. And the fact that we might
see what happened in war, what happened in China, what happened in the United States, what happened in Turkey, what happened in Arab war. So I think 21st century is amazing as for communication and to.
So how did I get involved in this project? And you can blame Twitter, right? So Steve Heller had this tweet saying, oh, save this Iranian poster show in Switzerland. And I was like, sure, I can do that. So I called the Pittsburgh AIGA and we spent some time on that, but ultimately shipping costs and copyright issues got in the way. But this other project, Beyond Borders, had already been on starting to work, so I got hooked up with them. And you know, interdisciplinary is always great. So for me, it's been a great opportunity because I do a lot of video in my own work. So I've been able to go out and do video interviews with all these guys. And so the show is relevant because, you know, design is a global language. And like we talked about before, seeing this rich diversity of designers' work is just so incredibly valuable. So our next steps, we've got AIGA's commitment. We did an initial round of funding through Kickstarter. It was moderately successful. So now we're working on redoing a second campaign with Indiegogo, and that's not quite ready yet. In fact, we were just talking through the video today. But AIGA has us on the website, Beyond Borders page, or there's a widget, what do you call that? So you can click on that to get more information.
QR code.
The QR code, thank you.